Well, thank you everyone for stopping by. My name is Terry Barbonis. I'm a Director of Solution Architecture for CenturyLink. So what I want to take you through is, you've heard a little bit today, not just here, but if you've been in the sessions with VMware, this idea of the digital transformation starting with connecting, migrating, managing, and then modernizing. And so once you connect and you migrate, how do you manage and grow that environment, right? Especially since we're operating in a world where not only is it multi-cloud, but you're talking hybrid IT. So you have public cloud, private cloud, on-prem, colo, and so forth. How do you manage that infrastructure estate? So what if I told you that there's a way that you could simplify that cloud environment, you can actually speed up your application delivery, and you can save money, right? So what's the benefit of actually saying, yeah, Terry, I agree with you, I would love to do that? Well, here's some of the benefits from our friends in Cisco. 50% on average increase in efficiency, 80% less downtime, and then 30% cost reductions are the benefits that companies who've been surveyed have said for using managed cloud services, right? So I hope you buy into that, because according to our friends at 451 Research, 75% of your colleagues in other companies actually fail when they try to go on the cloud journey by themselves. We don't want you to fail. Don't go at it alone. And so CenturyLink, being a partner in this field, want to help you down that path. So why do those companies fail? Why do 75% of companies fail the cloud journey? Well, here's some challenges. And I bet you if I asked for a raise of hands on how many of these make sense, everything from, yes, hand in the front, $25 winner. Everything from security to cloud sprawl to governance to compliance and speed to market, right? And why else is this important when you talk about digital transformation? Because if we all agree that the heart of digital business is data, then the only way that you succeed within the digital business environment is how quickly you iterate through the collection, acquisition, the analysis, and the actions and the execution you take in that data. So the larger your enterprise becomes, the more data is generated outside of your four walls, closer to your users, on the edge, if you will, the more you need a tool that allows you to manage all of that in a way that makes you efficient, it makes you speedier, and allows you to iterate through that quickly. So we call that managed services anywhere, right? And so the big attribute to this is you get a service from a single provider, a single subscription, with a global team, a technical manager, and a managed automation orchestration platform that's API-based, right? And it allows you to do a subset of those things that you see there. That's just a subset. Everything from build automation all the way to incident management, right? Single platform, single tool. So how does it work? So we've basically started with a global follow-the-sun IT support model. If you are an ITIL-based business, it's an ITIL-compliant support model, right? So this is the people portion of people, process, and technology. We've then paired this up with a suite of tools powered by this cloud application manager. Think of it as a single pane of glass. As a matter of fact, if you heard Dustin McCumber about an hour ago talk about Cloud Connect, those dynamic connections into these environments, all of those can be realized through the same tool. So like any good suite of tools, you have some with some cool names, right? We have a Watcher for monitoring and predictive analytics, Actor for process automation, and then Jumper for auditable remote access and change control, on top of all the individual controls that you would see natively in AWS and Azure and so forth, exposed through the same interface, right? So you're literally operating through a single pane of glass. Now, if you go beyond the capabilities of this and you want some customization with design, architecture, security guidance, adaptive help desk from a support perspective, then there's also an advanced managed services component that you can augment this. But the proof is in the pudding. So here's a use case. Multinational food, snack, beverage company. Sure, you're thinking of a couple in your mind right now, and yes, it's one of them. So the significance of this is they move their workloads to AWS and Azure to multi-cloud. They cut costs by 30%. You go, that's great. We hear that a lot of times. But the significance of this is this entire growth and management of their applications is all being done through managed services anywhere. And the significant part, if you look on the bottom here, they need to be able to scale their site to 900 times normal load When they have seasonality, they run promotions, and when they do investor calls. Again, all through a single tool for an enterprise that has hundreds of properties that they have to manage, right? But we're not all a multinational snack and food beverage business, although being in the beverage business would be kind of cool, right? So the solution is tailored for your business. So you get to pick how much of the management of this infrastructure through the tool you want to outsource and allow a company like CenturyLink to basically run for you, and how much you want to use the tool to manage yourself. So there's flexible hands-off for application development and further upstream development that you can do yourself. There's minimized call-outs for DevOps teams. And then this designated TAM, an actual individual, a technical account manager that's dedicated to your enterprise to not only help you operate this tool, but also get to understand your environment so you can figure out the better way to be able to manage it long term, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. We're all in different businesses. We need a model that adapts to our business. So if we look at a high level of the differences, the first one is you manage basically public, private clouds, and actually if you're also in, for example, CenturyLink colo facilities and so managed facilities, you can also use the same tool for that. So it's truly not just a multi-cloud tool management tool, it's also a hybrid IT management tool. You can bring your own cloud, meaning if you are already using AWS and Azure and you just need a tool to be able to manage it, we can basically tie into that. Technical account manager I just mentioned, with certification and skills is important, because we know with a lot of these skills, whether you're an AWS solution architect, associate, professional, or Azure, the unemployment rate is very, very low. And so the ability to go to a single provider to give you the resource to be able to do that, I think is pretty powerful. And then managing many third-party apps without custom service agreements, meaning through that API interface, you can tie it into custom apps that you also want to be able to manage through that on those environments. Beyond the managed services anywhere, there's a range of cloud support models that I can go into details after this if anybody wants to chat about it. So you could see the platform advisory support, which is basically intro, advise, and support, all the way to custom services that I mentioned, which is consult, customize, and evolve. Depending where you are in your journey, you can go up and down this continuum in terms of the subscription model that you add on to an existing managed services anywhere, for example, which is what we're talking about today. And so business value, again, I think hopefully you've derived some of it. Simple management, driving efficiency and cost effectiveness through an entire cloud infrastructure is important. Standardizing your app stack deployment, so whether you're doing build, deploy, manage, patch, incident management can all happen through this set of services. Single pane of glass, important. Single tool to manage the whole enterprise. Augmented internal IT expertise, basically leveraging these global support centers that CenturyLink has to be able to support your business, right? And then the CenturyLink difference, for those of you that may not know us, you can see we're one of both Microsoft's and AWS's largest MSPs in terms of certification. And so that's the caliber of talent that's basically sitting behind in the support desk, helping you either use however much of the tool you want to use yourself and how much of it you want to outsource to that support model. And so I want to show you this tool is so powerful. I want to actually show you a live workload migration. So what I'm going to do now is I'm clicking the button to migrate the load. And if you look here, it's actually been replicated me. That's supposed to be, I'm working on that joke, but give me a little something, okay?
I've Terry, I'm not sure. Is that your mini-me over there?
That's exactly right. That is the smaller workload. Sometimes when you go through a migration, you lose something, and sometimes you gain. So.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
All right. Thanks very much, guys. I appreciate your time.